enthusiasm is still a very big driving force. I know that enthusiasm helps you keep finding new opportunities and actually gets you the opportunity and actually gets you pretty successful in that opportunity. So I have faith in that enthusiasm.
Hello everyone, I'm Anusha and I'm thrilled to welcome you back to another episode of Lemon Lessons, my podcast. Today we are joined by Vedant, a student at NID Ahmedabad. Now there's always a buzz surrounding this college and Vedant over here sheds light on its inner workings, both the advantages it offers in the industry and its drawbacks. We also dwell into the personal side hustle which we explore during the podcast. Additionally, Vedant is also a key player in Baatein NID. He's not just a close friend but also a master of multitasking, providing valuable insights into the essence of college life. So let's jump right into the episode. What is your idea of a podcast? What do you think is, a podcast for you?
Mm-hmm. So I always pictured whenever I hear podcast, I've seen just Ranveer Alabadia sitting there with superstars there. So I'm like, yeah, I want to be on that side once. I want to take podcasts. I want to host a podcast. That's why I also joined Baatein in NID. And podcast to me is two people. I love the concept. Two people coming together, sharing their life experiences, sharing what they have done, sharing things that are valuable to hundreds others. Wow. Interesting.
And right now you mentioned NID, Baatein, and these few terms. So yeah, tell us a little about your journey to NID, because I think each and every person who is interested in doing design once thought कि भाई इधर जाना है, and आप उधर हैं, कैसा लगता है?
Amazing. Okay, तो creative side था बचपन से. I was into drawing and all. And I loved engineering, the concept of it, not the actual engineering. And then I'm like, yeah, let's get started. Someone told me about product design and then I'm like, yes, let's do design. I prepared for design. So I never really aimed for NID, though I really aspired to be there. But I enjoyed the process so much that I swear I would not regret if I didn't get into NID at all. I enjoyed it so much, the questions, whatever it is, the entire process. And then when results came, I'm like, oh shit, it's actually real. I'm in NID. And NID is just the place as it is hyped. It has such amazing people around. It is a small community, which is what I love the most. We possibly have spoken to everyone. We know everyone who's on campus. And everyone is super, super talented. Like there's no moment you won't feel inspired being there. It's a different experience. I think it's the best college experience I could ever get, possibly.
When you were writing the exam for NID, did you think that घुस जाएंगे, you'll get selected?
सोचा ही नहीं था यार. मैं एग्जाम के लिए बहुत एक्साइटेड था.
Okay.
लाइक दे देंगे. एंड सेकंड राउंड के वक्त डर लगा क्योंकि अब रियल हो रहा था थोड़ा. तो आई एम लाइक चक इट, मेरी ज़िंदगी चलने वाली है. इट्स जस्ट एन अपॉर्चुनिटी. आई ट्राई टू गिव माई बेस्ट. हुआ नहीं हुआ. So I think that approach in life has overall just helped me. Enjoy the process and you won't care about the end result ever. You won't regret anything.
So right now you said ki second round, right? How was the second round? Because I think a lot of us heard कि भाई योगा कराया था second round
वो
में.
मैं ही हूँ.
है ना, ये तुम ही हो ना.
बातें फैली है.
हाँ, तो जरा बताइए.
So my interview was on the first day. I think second, third slot. एंड कुछ भी हो रहा है. आई वॉज सो इंटिमिडेटेड. मुझे लगा डिज़ाइन रिलेटेड क्वेश्चंस पूछे गए. पोर्टफोलियो वगैरह वॉज फाइन. दे आस्क्ड फ्यू क्वेश्चंस अबाउट पोर्टफोलियो एंड क्या पता, मुझे तो ऐसे लगा मेरी रैगिंग हो रही है. पहले पानी पूरी वाला बनवाया, फिर बोला कि योगा करके दिखा, फिर आसना का मीनिंग समझाया. एंड देन दे आर लाइक चल हमको 10 जोक सुना, स्टोरी सुना, ये सुना वो सुना, कुछ भी. हमें बोला तू आइसक्रीम वेंडर है. हमें कन्विंस कर स्ट्रॉबेरी आइसक्रीम खिलाना है, मुझे नहीं पसंद स्ट्रॉबेरी आइसक्रीम, कुछ भी चल रहा था. एंड देन आई वॉज नॉट able to understand if my interview went good or was it a joke. It was crazy था, अलग ही था वो कुछ तो.
But I think that's that वो निशानी है कि interview went well because I mean I think for someone who is taking an interview in NID because I think that's what they want. If it's all serious and getting done in like a split second means you didn't impress them, but if it's going long, they are having fun with you, they're giving you multiple tasks which are not related to each other in any way, that means they're trying to get in depths of how you're thinking maybe.
I like how NID interviews are structured. There's a basic questions on your portfolio and your rounds to understand how knowledgeable or how thoughtful you are in your projects, and then they start testing the personality. And it really shows, like all of the people are individual main characters in NID, if I had to call it. Everyone is their own person, everyone is amazing in their own ways. I think that aspect of the interview is able to identify those personalities.
And how was year one actually how was the day when you actually got the email or whatever it is, the result ki you are in NID, you are the next batch of NID Institute of NID is National Institute of Design. I was like NID Institute of Design, yeah, but NID.
तो इतने funny interview के बाद I had just given up all expectations and then I joined the next college I was about to, that is MIT. And online college वगैरह चल रहा था, and that is the first time all Pune MIT people met. We were all chilling, having fun. I was enjoying the crowd, but somewhere I didn't want to be there, somewhere inside. And then तभी उस crowd में ही, like during the meetup, we got a notification, and there were few others who had appeared for second round, and everyone was checking and no one got in. I got super tensed because I was sure नहीं मिलने वाला. Then I just went to the washroom and I checked my results there क्योंकि बहुत pressure हो रहा था. And then NID का website is very bad. तो वो result था table के बाहर and it showed All India rank 5. मुझे लगा इसके आगे 2-3 characters हो गए और मैं scroll करने का try कर रहा हूँ, believe ही नहीं हो रहा है. And then I shouted in the washroom till the moment that the staff came in asking what happened. It was that moment, but yeah, it felt life changing. I called my parents shouted, क्या पता. It was a different experience. It was like,
I didn't experience it, but I think I'm experiencing it through you. कि
मैंने पेरेंट्स को कॉल किया, पापा ने तो बिलीव ही नहीं किया. पापा बोले हैं रुक मैं चेक करता हूँ. Zero reaction. वो बोले रुक मैं भी चेक करता हूँ. They checked it and then they called back and they're like wow congratulations. स्पीकर पे था, सब लोग चिल्ला रहे कॉल पे. मैं बोला ये.
What about when you came out of that washroom? फिर क्या हुआ? When you came out of that washroom?
I never went back to the get together. I was there but I got so many calls.
And you never told anyone in the get together that
I told them.
Okay.
And the get together just turned into a farewell. I was the only one leaving anyway.
Was there any sense of jealousy in the get together ki, or did you just not notice?
I did not notice at all. I was in my
good.
own
नहीं करना चाहिए यार. Negative चीजें क्यों ही देखनी है life में. अच्छी बात है. But now then you have entered NID, right? How is life in NID? Is it how it is portrayed outside? Because I still feel that I'm not very much into the idea of NID. I've never been like मेरे साथ कभी ऐसा हुआ नहीं कि I want to go into NID. That's never been my thing. But I've seen so many people who actually are genuinely there to be a part of NID. They're putting their heart and soul in cracking the exam. So is the environment like that? Is it the hype? Is it worth the hype that it is? What is your say on that?
Okay, so there are bad things to every good thing, but it has too many good things to forget about the bad things. It is a land of opportunities when I actually say it. There is always something or the other going on. Let it be academically, club-wise, events, activities, collaborations, and all students are very enthusiastic in terms of everything. All cultures are celebrated. There are posters, illustrations, animations behind every festival. There is Monsoon Fiesta, which is I think most of us learn most design from Monsoon Fiesta than what we do during the academic year. So it is totally a land of opportunities. There always something that you want to do. It is totally worth the hype if I had to call it simply. And everyone around you is very talented. So there's no moment you can feel like मेरा हो गया सीख के अब तो किसी से कुछ सीखना नहीं है. Someone's always better out there.
And what is it like to have a day in NID? How does it work out?
Day in NID, I don't know when it starts or ends to begin with. Anyway, we wake up in the morning, have breakfast. Possibly that is just 20% of the people having breakfast. Others skip because class is around 9:30. We go to class, have around an hour of class, and then we are free to do our assignments. We do our assignments for a while, go for lunch together, possibly come back, do our assignments. Faculty is normally always there till dinner or even beyond to give us feedbacks because we have a lot of visiting faculties. So they are really dedicated and they are there to just guide us, leaving their professional life. So that's very helpful for us. So they are there throughout. We seek guidance. फिर बीच में we have a chai gate where I think $1 million ideas are discussed. We take breaks, go to the chai gate, rant, discuss new ideas, discuss new perspectives, take a break and come back. I think chai gate is part of everyone's life in NID, like at least twice a day. It's the best place if I had to call it. Evenings on good days we try to go to the domes to see the sunset. So you have to climb on tables and chairs to reach the roof of our institute, and the view from there is spectacular, no doubt. In summers I used to sleep there every day at night. Anyway, yeah, that, and evening we work, dinner we have together, we come back after a while. Everyone's working till 2 o'clock. The entire institute is possibly there till 1 o'clock. It's so lively all the time. That's our day. Then we go back, we play foosball or basketball or football till 3, 4. Then we sleep.
Wow. And then when do you wake up, sir?
उठा के 9, 9:30 को उठ जाते हैं, फिर क्लास भागते हैं directly.
Okay. And you just said that obviously everything has a downside to it, right? And I know it's not like everything is bad and stuff, but would you like to discuss about some downsides that NID has, which you have faced personally, without making it controversial?
It's a bubble. We are living, breathing design. We are living with the same people. There's no fresh perspectives, I feel. Like, there are, but we are really just restricted to our thoughts. We forget how the world functions beyond. That is an aspect. And second, I think most of the times it gets very overwhelming academically because there's so much pressure. You're not able to manage things, or it goes left and right, which you don't want to. These two mainly.
Yeah. Because I think there are times when you're with a group, working with someone who's like not that into design, like the benchmark there is high. So have you ever felt that NID में भी constraints हैं, NID में भी कुछ boundaries हैं that you can't cross, or is it like, it's like the fresh air of design? What do you think?
I feel there are no boundaries. Academically there are, but I'm sure 80 to 90% of the people there are no boundaries. असाइनमेंट में बेसिक लोगो मांगा होगा, पूरा आइडेंटिटी का प्रेजेंटेशन बना के देंगे. People are over there, and that is what helps us learn the most. There's a tiny courses like silk, textile students at silk painting. They will do entire photo shoots, drapery and whatnot, which are professional standard. Like if you see that with a branded logo, you will actually believe it. So I think people read the brief and then think beyond, and they actually work beyond. It is beautiful.
So in your whole journey of NID, did you go through any sort of errors or any blunders that you think you made and that caused you to be like, okay, this is a lesson that I can go forward with and maybe not repeat it, or maybe I would like to repeat it in the time when I did it, but not in the future?
Rather than blunders, I don't think I have blunders or regrets, but
No, not regrets. I'm just saying, obviously, as humans, whenever, I can be, I am in lens, for example, if I take one of the internships in Lenskart, obviously, everything that I learned there was something that, made me learn something or the other. But there were so many times which I can think of in retrospect, ki, Anusha could have handled that in a better way, or I could have done something. Not I could have done something, but now when I'm this mature or in this area, I'm like कि oh वो गलत कर दिया था, but ठीक है, हो गया, it's okay.
not that I can think of, but I think over the semesters, I've started understanding value in the things I'm doing. So foundation में तो हम सब करते हैं, सब कुछ करते हैं, सब कुछ नया है, but eventually you start realizing क्या valuable है. It's not like you're not doing things that are not valuable, you do it for your own sake, but that's what I've learned every semester, things that are valuable, things that will help me.
Being in finding relations that are going to stick around, like in terms of college, how was that aspect, and did competition ever enter in that area? Because obviously you're in a place where everyone is smart enough. I don't think so there is anyone who won't be in a place where you don't want to be in. Like मतलब everyone is doing so well for themselves, so थोड़ा competition, थोड़ा comparison तो आता ही होगा. So did that ever affect any kind of relations in your life, or how did it go about actually?
So there are definitely competitions academically for different positions, for whatever it be, but overall I've observed that we are staying together, we are living together, we are breathing the same air, we are in the same studios, we have very small communities, we have a batch of 15 students. So at the end of the day, I feel everyone still manages to come together. And that is the beauty of it. Because we are a small community and a bonded community, we actually end up making good connections with every possible person. I'm sure any NID I've met in the last 3-4 years, I'm sure if I go to their city, I'll definitely end up meeting them and will possibly do anything for them.
Okay. And how was your journey in navigating your discipline? Like, obviously we all know in NID you have to score a certain merit to get certain discipline. So what was that journey all about? How did you navigate that?
Scary again, this is where the competition comes in, because every discipline has fixed seats which you get based on your merit in foundation. Oh my god, it was insane, because here you're not competing with the rest of India, you're actually competing with the best in India. So it's worse. Mentally it becomes stressful. I was sure I wanted product design, as I told, it is the best combination I can see of engineering, logic and creativity. So I was always sure I wanted product design. Again, I did not think much about the end output. I was very included in the process. I enjoyed the courses. I enjoyed all opportunities coming my way. I luckily made it into product design. That's how I landed, and it is definitely going good. As per my expectations, there is a lot to learn from product design, I think. Projects like simple product design, technically complex products, and I'm also looking up to systems design. It is so vast that every project I think I'm learning a different aspect of design. So yeah.
Would you like to tell our audience what system design is actually?
I actually don't know much. It will come in 4th year. It will not be right of me to explain without knowing.
Okay. And are you interested in taking product forward in your journey of design, or is your time with product now good, happy, done?
I'm still interested in product design. I would take up projects definitely, but I think the better thing I'm taking away from product design is the process and the tiny things I've learned, the research and whatnot. And I think that's going to help me build something bigger that I always aspired to be around entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Lovely. And right now you mentioned about entrepreneurship. What is and yeah, obviously I want you only to tell our audience about your book business. I mean, whatever that thing is, because if I go on telling it, obviously I won't be able to give justice to it. But yeah, how did that work out? And what are all the other things that you have given a shot at in college, while doing college?
Wow. I've had a long entrepreneurial journey, like very funny, made nothing big, but lots to learn. In 11th, 12th, we started a small startup called Avenue, which is finding locations for your events and parties and celebrations in the city. We started out, we learned the entire process, we tried making things. Obviously, itna technical knowledge nahi tha, so we didn't take it forward. Then, when I was preparing for NID, as I said, all these sketchbooks I found super boring, but the sketches we were making inside were the best. And I see my friends doing journaling, sketching all the time. They are beautiful, but those boring sketchbooks. So I thought that these creative people need some creative stationery. I started off for myself. I was designing for myself. I printed nice covers, I made books. I didn't have much knowledge. I printed certificates luckily, and then I'm like, wow, this looks like a book cover. Then I just came home, I stapled it, and I'm like, yeah, this looks like a book. I made a collection of books for myself. I used it, and then friends started asking, where did you get those books from? That's when I found that opportunity that let's make fun, creative journals and sketchbooks. So I started off there. It started off as a small business. I did it for good 7-8 months, Instagram business. Made around over 800 handmade books. It went to many cities. It blew, basically. But then I got into NID, then I shifted my priorities. And then in NID, I kept trying Excelsior again and again with different thought in mind to learn. So first time I tried, I wanted to learn how to collaborate with artists. And what do students really want? Would they buy? Because running an online Instagram business is very different from actually selling offline. So collaborating with artists is what I learned for the first time. Second time, I wanted to sell it to an audience outside NID. Basically, new strangers whom I can talk about my product, convince them to buy. So that is the experience I was looking for. So second time, I did that. Third time, I wanted to try to sell products with a team. I'm like, हाँ खुद बहुत कर लिया, but there's a lot more potential you can tap in when you have a small team of yourself. So I got in my friends, my juniors, a lot of people. We were all selling. It was super fun. I think I made more memories than profit. It was never for the profit, I think. So this brand called Excelsior, which is making creative stationery, I call it. It has become like my project to keep learning things about starting up. Now I understand what customers need, how to find your initial customers. Whatever, it has small learnings I cannot put into words, but a lot of it. Then I'm also part of Baatein NID, which is a platform where we invite design professionals from all around the world actually to have conversations around design. So I've been in it for around 3 years, and simply saying it, I think I've learned more from Baatein than what I've learned from NID. It is amazing to work in a small group trying to build something big. There is so much learning. You know, it's funny how I've been a very shy kid. My mom used to almost tell me ki start talking, why don't you talk to people? If you're going out, start talking. So it was like a dream I wanted to complete. Or it was my personal thing. I want to actually start conversing with people better. So that's what I learned from Bate. Now that I'm a senior, we're learning how to build teams, keep everyone excited, do what excites, do what's meaningful. It's almost like running a startup, very honestly. There's so much to learn.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, shout out to your book company. I don't want
Excelsior.
Excelsior. Alexa. I'm like, no, Anusha, you can't pronounce it wrong. Excelsior. What does this mean?
Highly superior quality.
Oh my god, highly superior quality. So
It's
Excelsior.
a term Devesh came up with, my best friend,
Wow.
and we just call all our tiny businesses and startups Excelsior.
Excelsior.
That's how it started.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
So
it's from Marvel Comics actually.
So are you guys still in business? Are you guys still producing creative stationery, or is it like, do you take orders, or is it like just, I mean, when you guys publish, you just put it out there? How does it work?
So it's not active, but we take out books in slots. It's not currently running online. I think it does. I don't want to prioritize it right now in my life. There are other things to do.
Why?
The learning part I'm getting out of it. I'm not doing it for the profits.
Okay.
And once you are actively running a business, you are very occupied overall. And I didn't want to be just occupied.
Okay.
So I don't run it actively, I run it in batches. As I said, every time I run these batches, I have some intent in mind to learn something, to try out something new or different. I have plans for next time. Next time I actually want to sell online, let's see.
You want to?
Sell online, larger scale. Better plans.
So
let's
what
see.
are you planning on selling?
Books again.
Normal, the same book?
The same, I want to
check out actually this is something that आज podcast में बोला गया, उससे पहले भी बोला गया था, that if you're too ready, then you're late. And I think the amount of brains you put in things, you are ready, because if you don't dive into it right now, later there'll be more responsibilities which will actually stop you from diving into it. Abhi you don't have any like as such responsibility, like just a personal opinion. If you want to take it, yes, but I think do it when your gut says do it. Yes, and whenever you're doing it, please collab with Lemon Lessons. Yes, sponsorship and everything देखा जाएगा. But yeah,
मैं sponsor करूँ कि तू करेगी?
दोनों मिलके करेंगे. We'll look for sponsors. We'll do something about it. And we can do our flip book thing, right? That can be our
Excelsior. तू 1 घंटे के पॉडकास्ट में नाम सीख ले.
Excelsior X Lemon Lessons present you flip book, or Lemon Lessons Excelsior. Yeah, we'll do a toss कि किसका पहले आएगा नाम. ठीक है.
तो मेरा ही आएगा. हाँ? मेरा ही आएगा.
क्या?
मेरा ही आएगा.
क्यों भाई?
Confidence.
सही है, ठीक है. But yeah, चलो, moving forward with the podcast, obviously. Now you mentioned a lot about Baatein. Like you mentioned a lot about these different ventures that you're trying to get your hands in. Now, obviously, I can tell you, and personally I know as well, that you end up doing a lot of things, right? Multitasking at its best. How do you do that? Just plain answer. How do you do it? What are the downfalls of it? Do you face anything, everything and anything related to time management? I want to know.
Okay. So yeah, if you see me in college, throughout the day you'll see me doing all sorts of work, Baatein, treasurer, ye club, ye event, because I know I can, and I prefer working on academics in isolation, because तब focused work हो जाता है and I can finish off the work in that effective time. So I keep that to my room or to myself. So that's how I'm able to manage things. It's just self-awareness. You need to know yourself. You don't need to lie to yourself. You need to know honestly कितना time लगने वाला है तुम्हें एक काम करने के लिए, and accordingly you can end up taking things on your plate.
And getting a little real here, do you face any sort of jealousy or negative energy from other people when you end up pulling all this off, or is it just supportive behavior from everywhere?
So, not jealousy, but there's an attitude that you receive from others that he's probably not working or doing too many things. which is not bad or good anyway, but
Does it affect you?
Yeah, it affects me, I think.
Like, in what way do you feel? Like, do you feel like, I mean, I'm carrying it well, that doesn't mean it's heavy type of a feeling? Or do you feel like, how does it affect you?
That what you said, I'm carrying it well so it doesn't look like it's a burden. That, and how does it affect me? I feel like I'm doing enough, but others think I'm not. I know I'm doing valuable things, but other things I'm just passing time. I think it's just the change of view. I know it's valuable to me. I know what I'm doing, but others, it's their perception which affects you a little, because it's your image, your personality after a point. So I learned it after bad experiences, or very recently, that you are supposed to stay predictable. You let everyone know what all you're doing, that you're working, even if it's not done. Like, build that view you want in the people. Don't let them see and make that view of yourself. So once I complete my academic work also on time, or I just pretend to complete it on time, whatever, my friends, my batchmates, my colleagues, everyone knows that I'm managing things together. So that's a good impression, I think, to have. Basically, make your own impression rather than them figuring it out for you. It's what helped me, being predictable.
And I think earlier we had this conversation on this one topic, which I really found interesting, and I think people out there should get an idea about it, is stepping down the pedestal. What is this idea? What are the learnings that you got from this idea?
So this is genuine feedback I got from my faculty. Thank you so much, Siddhi, if you're watching.
Shout out to Siddhi.
But she wrote that you really need to step down the pedestal to learn things. When you're on the pedestal, when you think you know enough, when you think you are the best at managing things, when you know you're great enough, it's a good confidence to have. It is what can get you a lot of things in life. But for learning, you cannot learn being on the pedestal, and I'm actively trying to step down, maybe, because once you step down, once you detach from what you wish people perceive you as, you get to learn a lot of things.
Yeah. So do you think you were at a point of time on that pedestal, thinking that you're the best?
Not the best, but it's that feeling that I want to show the world that I'm confident enough to handle things. But then in that showing, you miss out on the learning part, which is, I thought a lot about this and I realized that it's a long process. But yeah, I mean, show where you have to, but right now in my phase, I want to learn. So I have to step down. I don't have to show continuously.
Yeah. And do you think that there is a sense of balance that one should find in terms of being confident? Or actually, not someone, you. Did you find a balance between showing that you're confident and learning? Or did you just detach from the whole pedestal thing and now are just in your zone and learning stuff?
There's a slight difference. So standing on a pedestal is just being confident. But stepping down is being confident where you have to, but being curious or innocent enough to learn. So you need to have that confidence to keep proving yourself and keep you motivated personally, but that innocence to actually not take things personally or learn from new things. No job is a small job. Everything is going to teach you in life, even the smallest thing, honestly. Like, who knew? I love solving Rubik's Cubes. Recently, I've started finding value in it. It's so complicated. I love solving the 7x7. It is so complicated when you see it initially. And you keep making one step. Initially, anyone will get overwhelmed and stay away. You do one step at a time. You see me after 10-15 minutes, it'll start coming together. You see me after 10 more minutes, it'll start coming together more. So it's the tiny steps.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew a Rubik's cube could teach you this big value in life?
Yeah. Now, since you said that everything has a learning attached to it, right? And I am very keen in understanding what were the blunders. I mean, I don't want to put it in a negative way, but I genuinely believe that the best learnings of your life come from a place of, failure. When you fail at something, or when you not basically fail, but when you just something goes in a way you didn't expect it to go. Actually, that's a better way to put it. It's not like it was wrong, but it wasn't what you thought of it to be. Then you get like a lesson. Okay, this, if I take यहाँ से left जाऊँगा तो ये पड़ेगा, यहाँ से right जाऊँगा तो ये पड़ेगा. So what are, I think, those 5 learnings that you had? Now this is a very big number. I don't think I've asked anyone about 5, but I think you have the potential. So go ahead, and it can be about anything.
I have a different approach to the answer. I think there are, even the tiniest mistake teaches you a lot. Even the biggest mistake gives you a lot of new perception. So rather than me sharing my lessons from my mistakes, a good habit I've been following, I have a book of mistakes. So any day I do something, it's not just mistakes. I write down what I could have done better in terms of decisions, in terms of communicating. There are a lot of big mistakes you make. Once you start writing down the tiniest thing you learned or you wanted to improve, it starts making so much sense. And trust me, once you write it, you tend to not repeat it, and you realize the lesson behind it, writing your own problems. So then one major learning I think I've received is have good, clear communication and on-time communication in terms of relationships, in terms of people, decision, whatever. Wherever anyone else apart from you is affected, communicate it at the right time. It might be hard, but communicate it at the right time. That is one lesson I would say. The rest, I would request people to just have a practice of writing it down somewhere. Maybe not a problem book, but that helps you analyze the problem. The biggest problem is not analyzing the wrong things you did. So even if you check my journal right now, last 2 pages are filled with my mistakes. And once you write your mistake, I honestly feel I've barely repeated a mistake because I've written it down. I've consciously told myself that it's a mistake and you should learn from it.
Okay. Now, moving forward with this whole thing, what do you think is out there for future Vedant? Like when you just look at yourself, look at maybe 2024 Vedant, what do you see? I mean, I'm not saying to put up some other kind of expectations, but what do you think your future aspiration is looking like?
Firstly, it's weird. I'm always scared for my future. I always feel I'm not enough or I'm not doing enough or whatever. But I feel that enthusiasm is still a very big driving force. I know that enthusiasm helps you keep finding new opportunities and actually gets you the opportunity and actually gets you pretty successful in that opportunity. So I have faith in that enthusiasm I have from inside. So I'm sure I'll manage and do something great, which is what I want to. But I have zero clarity about my future. I have no idea.
Okay, that's fine. I don't think so anybody of us does, but yeah, a rough picture you just gave me about enthusiasm and everything.
It is the key I hold, I think, to finding new opportunities.
And anything that you're looking forward to right now?
Looking forward to So I applied for exchange semester.
Yay! Oh my god.
And I'm really looking forward to go to Germany. More than the place, more than the institute, I'm looking forward to learn things that make me independent. I'll be going to a new country, actually making new friends, making new connections, making me independent. Learning how to cook, I'm super excited, I can't even explain. I just want to start cooking for myself every day. Because it is a feeling of independence, I feel, and I'm chasing it. I know I'm going to get a lot of time, a lot of culture shock, again, developing me. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to that experience.
Yeah, lovely. Amazing. And I think we are moving towards the end of this conversation, this long, I think I mean, we both were thinking of having something like this for the longest time. Right?
We've spoken about this in our foundation, you remember, the first time we met.
We did?
Yeah.
What did we speak?
The first time we met in Marzorin, we were just discussing, what do you want to do in life? What do I want to do in life?
What did I say?
You're like, I just want to do something of my own. I'm very excited.
Such a cutie. Like, something of my own I want to do in first year. What about you? You said the same thing?
Yeah. I think we bonded over that only.
Oh, wow. I remember the Marzorin Wala day, but I don't remember exactly what. I just remember that I vibed with you because that's why I met you the second time. Varna to main aise block. Out. But okay, so now since we are heading towards the end of this podcast, I would like to ask you the question that is
what is the yellow in you, ma'am?
Oh my god.
Tell me.
What do you think
you are very predictable. Just
acha, okay. As if you did not know कि ये पहले आने वाला है. But yeah, what's the yellow in you? What makes you different? What makes you stand out?
There are a lot of things, but I will say two major things.
No, actually, I want a lot of things.
I'll say two major things that helps build up the others.
Chalo, okay, works.
First is, as I said before, I think I'm enthusiastic about most of the things. And as I said, enthusiasm will always keep looking for new opportunities. We'll end up getting that opportunity and we'll end up doing good at that opportunity. So I think I have that enthusiasm which is driving me to do so many things, which is keeping me excited for the future, which is keeping me alive every day, which is helping me jump out of bed every morning. One thing I can be excited about, the smallest things. Watch me make bhindi fry someday. Second, I think I adapt to situations and environments very well. It can be around people, it can be around circumstances, it can be around actual physical environment, it can be around projects, it can be around the type of work I'm doing. And it's not you faking it or you trying to fit in. I really think I can adapt to it, like mentally, physically. I am all in when I actually am in that condition. So I think that helps me in a lot of ways.
Lovely. And I mean, I'm really proud of you for doing this, taking the step forward, cracking an ID and going through all of...
You know what they say?
What do they
Getting
say?
into an ID was the easiest thing you could do.
Yeah, that is true. That is definitely true.
Oh my god.
I mean...
And it hit us so hard when you were in foundation.
like I think I heard this in a TED talk. Then they said ki, getting into Harvard is the easy thing. Surviving there is the difficult bit. And I really want to know, now that you said getting into an ID was the easy thing, and surviving there is like more difficult than cracking it. How?
Clearly, through all the topics I talked about, it's the people around you. They are the best. You trying to match the standards. You eventually tend to try to match the standards. You're not trying to copy or just reach levels. But everyone's in a way an overachiever. No one's doing just enough. People are always trying to be better and better. So, and obviously work is pretty hectic. When you're people, when you're among people with this mentality, whatever you're doing is never enough. So the work in a way keeps piling, keeps stressing up.
Yeah.
That's why just getting in was the easiest part. Life is beyond.
Okay, I think this is the end of our
Congratulations, Anusha!
we are done.
Yeah, but I'm really glad you started this. It's a bold move. It's a bold move to get started. Everyone thinks about it.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching the episode till the end. Please subscribe to my channel, comment, like, share. I mean, you know the drill. And yeah, I'll see you around the next episode.